मन से जो माँ की पूजा करे, माँ उसके सारे दुख रे हरे। मन से जो माँ की पूजा करे, माँ उसके सारे दुख रे हरे। गिरते हो आके किस्मत तुम्हारा, चलते परे और वर्षा करे। कोई देवी न तुझसे जानी, मुझे लक्ष्मी रानी। ये अनधन की महारानी, मुझे लक्ष्मी रानी। तुझे घर घर पूजे प्राणी, मुझे लक्ष्मी रानी। मुझे लक्ष्मी रानी, मुझे लक्ष्मी रानी।
I'm sure you all would agree with me that this mandir is full of many young talents. Put your hands together for Little Raj. Up next, I would like to ask Bhai Rajendra of the Divya Jyoti Jagrati Sanstan organization to do for us his rendition.
कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे, कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। सांसों का मोल रे, कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। कृपा से मिला मुझको ये तन, जिसमें बसाऊं तुझे दिया है वो मन। तेरे कृपा से मिला मुझको ये तन, जिसमें बसाऊं तुझे दिया है वो मन। तन की तो कोलिया के मन की बिकोल रे, तन की तो कोलिया के मन की बिकोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे, कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। मैंने किया ना कोई दान भरम, चल से भरे हैं मेरे सारे करम। शल से भरे हैं मेरे सारे करम। नाम बुलाया मैंने तेरा अनमोल रे, नाम बुलाया मैंने तेरा अनमोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे, कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। मधु में हमेशा रहा मैं चूर चूर, मंदिरों से भगवन में रहा दूर दूर। मधु में हमेशा रहा मैं चूर चूर, मंदिरों से भगवन में रहा दूर दूर। नाम बुलाया मैंने तेरा अनमोल रे, नाम बुलाया मैंने तेरा अनमोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल। कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे, कैसे चुकाऊं इन सांसों का मोल रे। जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल रे, जन्म देने वाले इतना तो बोल।
Beautifully done there by Rajendra. I'm sure with these student pageants, our minds are now in tune to listen to our dear Vyasji of tonight's proceeding. At this time, I will invite, as usual, the president of the Suzai Vishnu Mandir to do for us the official introduction of our Vyasji.
प्रेम से बोलो महालक्ष्मी मैया माता की। Very good. Let me join with Gauri ji and welcome each and every one of you to the 6th session of our Nauraatri celebration at the Suzdijk Vishnu Mandir. I must say how happy we are, how delighted we are to see you taking time off night after night, finding yourself at the right place at the right time. Vyasji needs no introduction, but I don't know quite anything about him like y'all know. So no use I try to force myself or fool myself that I could tell you something about Vyas Maharaj that all you don't know. But guess what? You come here, the Pandit read good by the Trinidad Pandit read good tomorrow morning, you forget all we say. And even if you do remember we say, you not put it into practice. You just waste your time to come here. I'm giving you a living example. A devotee was here last night, a friend of mine, and he was gathering with two devotees who weren't here, who was at another mandir. And the two devotees from the other mandir telling our devotee where Lakshmi Mata found herself first, in the hands of the Rakshasa. Then he went to heaven. How you know? You the Suzdijk mandir and you know the two other persons went to another mandir on the East Bank and them know everything. Them there another mandir, them on Facebook tune in. Gross disrespectfulness to the other pandit. But we're not here for that. We're here to tell our Vyas Maharaj how well he is doing. And he's going to take us on another trip. No Facebook in this mandir. Please put down all your phone. Don't be disrespectful to this pandit as those devotees were last night in the mandir. He is going to take us on a journey. You know where. Somewhere in Bharat Desh. I am not sure if we're going to the Himalayas or where we're going, but I ask you, you've booked your ticket, so you're here. Fasten your seatbelt. We're going on a journey, and if you really and truly love our Vyas Maharaj, let me hear you give him a big victory. Prem se bolo Vyas Maharaj ki? Nah, man, we can do better than that. I ain't know what's really going on. Let me see if they really love you. Though I think you just know that Jai grandson, like, knows that group. If you love Vyas Maharaj, let me hear you. Prem se bolo Vyas Maharaj ki? Jai ho! Over to you, Vyas Maharaj.
चकवन प्रेम से समापति महादेव की जय आज शक्ति दुर्गा भवानी माता की जय Let us all stand as we begin beautiful Devi Arati. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Saraswati Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya निषेधना तुमको ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी निषेधना तुमको ध्यावत हरि ब्रह्मा शिव जी जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी 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 ओम दुम दुर्गाय नमः मांग सिंदूर विराजत दीपो मृद मद को ओ मांग सिंदूर विराजत दीपो मृद मद को उज्जवल से दौलना चंद्र बदलनी जय हो जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी ओ मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे कनक समान कलेवर रतांबर रानी ओ कनक समान कलेवर रतांबर रानी रत पुष्प दलमाला कंठाहार साजे जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी हो मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी जय अम्बे माँ चौसठ युगणी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो चौसठ युगणी गावत नृत्य करत भैरो बाजत बाजत ताल मृदंगा और बाजत के डमरू जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी ओ मैया जय अम्बे गौरी मैया जय श्यामा गौरी ओम दुम दुर्गाय नमः 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 नमः दुम दुर्गाय नमः दुम दुर्गाय नमः नमः दुम दुर्गाय नमः दुम दुर्गाय नमः जगदम्बा देवी माता की जय आसन लीजिए सब लोग let us all take our seats On this beautiful night, my dear friends, we'd like to take this golden opportunity to welcome each and everyone as we say आपको स्वागत और नमस्कार करता हूँ सब लोग to the members of this most beautiful Susdaik Vishnu Mandir, to all those who have come from far and near to join with us, to all Pandits, to all Sadhus, members of the Kirtan Mandali of this beautiful Mandir who sang earlier, to our Shrotas, to the members of the Celestial Gandharvas, and to all Bhaktas who've sacrificed your time, your efforts, your energy on this beautiful night. We say Swagatam, Namaskar and a special Jai Sitaram to all. To all those who are tuned in via Facebook, wherever you are in the world, joining in with us on this auspicious night, the 6th night of Nauraatri, where we dedicate ourselves to Devi Mata in her forms and manifestations. We once more specially welcome you to our Yajna. At this time, without further ado, let us all sit upright. Let us close our eyes as we contemplate on the feet of the Divine Devi, Supreme Goddess. We forget the world and we join in Omkar 3 times. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दुर्गारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सरस्वती रूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः जयन्ते मंगलं काले भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवरात्रि स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते रूपं देहि जायं देहि यशो देहि यशो देहि रूपं देहि जायं देहि यशो देहि यशो देहि ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः ॐ दुं दुर्गाय नमः. While worshipping Devi, we pay our salutations to Lord Shiva, the embodiment of peace and the Lord of destruction. For while Lord Brahma was given the role of creation, Lord Vishnu the title of sustenance, Lord Shiva destroys negativities. It is said Adi Shakti Devi Mata, her role is to protect, but she can also destroy. And when she stands at the side of her Lord, with her power and with her strength, she will upkeep us and she will protect us. But remember to chant his name, chant his mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले, शिव का नाम भजले रे मनवा, शिव का नाम भजले. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. On a night like this, devotees pay pranams to our Lord Prabhu Shankar while worshipping Devi. For today is called Somvar. On this auspicious day, it is said many a times the Pradosha, it falls on this day. And while we will worship Mahadev, we are worshipping Devi Nauraatri. Tonight we touch the feet of the incarnated form of Lord Shiva as we praise Bajranga Bali. Bhut Pisach Nikat nahi aave, Mahavir jab nama sunave. Lord of strength, we invoke your energy to fill our minds with the eternal bliss of love and dedication like you had for your Lord. And as we begin, 40 verses, Shri Hanuman Chalisa. Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ram सिया राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मना मुकुर सुधार वरना रघुवर विमल जसु जोदायक परचार। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरा पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कले सभी का। राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूता तुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी सुमति निवास सुमति के संगे कंचन वरण विराज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचन केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराज कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साज। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान मुनि अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय हो। क्या बात बोलो एवरीबॉडी जय बजरंग बली। रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्षि उर लाए रघुपति कीनी बहुत बड़ाई तुम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई दस बदन तुम रोज सगावे गई श्रीमती कट लगावे काज ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि को विद कई सके कहाते तुम पुकार तुगी वही की राम मिलाय राज पर दीना। राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय बोले। क्या बात जय श्री राम। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जान योग सहस्र योजन पर भानो वील्यताहि मधुर फल जान। प्रभु मोत्र का मिली मुकमाई जल्दी लागी गए अक्षर जनाए दुर्गम का जगत के देते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे देते राम द्वारे तुमर कवारे ओचन आजा मृदय सारी सब सुकल है तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक का हो तो डरना। अपन ते समारो आप तीनों लोग कदे का पिता निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर 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 जब नाम सुनावे, राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम Salutations to Lord Hanuman. नासै रोग हरय सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लाय। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै। चारों युग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय। हरि भजन राम को पावै, जन्म जन्म की दुख बिसरावै। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरिभक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्ता न डरहि, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाय। कोई सत बार पाठ कर कोई, दूत ही बंदे महासुख होय। कोया पर हनुमान चालीसा, कोई सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि तेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महादेवा। राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम। बोल राम सिया राम सिया सिया जय जय सिया जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय। सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम। पवनतनय संकटहरणं मंगलामूर्तिरो राम लक्ष्मण सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभु पवन सुत हनुमान की. On this beautiful night, my dear friends, it is said while we will join in the golden pages of Devi Bhagavatam, we're about to receive a beautiful message of the Divine Mother. Last night we heard the blessings of which Devi? Goddess? Goddess what? Lakshmi Mata. Tonight as we continue, taken from the golden pages of our Devi Bhagavatam and our Devi Mahatmyam, we're about to continue with this beautiful part. Remember, in this Nauraatri period, it is said 9 days and 9 nights have been dedicated to Devi, and we have all sacrificed our time and our efforts, our energy to be a part of this most beautiful moment. As we're about to join in our night, as today is also dedicated to the Divine Lord, we join in a chant to Mahadev, Lord Shankar. Say, Prabhu Shankar, you are the embodiment of destruction. And tonight as we sit here, whatever impediments may be blocking us from success, destroy it, Lord. Whatever is hampering our devotion, destroy it. Every single day, something blocks our mind or clouds our mind when it comes to spirituality, devotion, motivation, inspiration. Something stops us. Sometimes it may be the energy of our house, the energy of our home, the company that we keep, something on the job, something. But tonight, in order to break free of all these barriers of negativity, we take this beautiful moment to join in chant to Lord Shiva. Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu. We sing for Lord Shiva. Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu. Shiva 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 Shambhu, Hara 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 Shambhu. We sing tonight. Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Umapati Mahadeva ki. Everybody one voice. Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Nityaya Shuddhaya Tasmai Nakaraya Trambakam Yajamahe Urvarukamiva Bandana Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu, Mahadeva Shambhu. Shiva 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 Shambhu, Hara 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 Shambhu. Shiva 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 Shambhu, Hara 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 Shambhu. Everybody boliye Hari. Shiva 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 Shambhu, हर 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 शंभु. एक बार और सबको प्यारी. शिव 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 शंभु, हर 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 शंभु. हर हर महादेव. क्या बात. Glories to Lord Shiva. One voice. Shiva 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 Shambhu, Hara 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 Shambhu. By yourselves now. Shiva Shiva Hara Hara A little more volume there. According to Uncle Dave, Daddy grandson, we want to get the maximum power for our Lord. Umapati Mahadeva ki! One voice. Shiva, Shiva, Shiva. Hara, Hara. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. एक बार और Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Bolo Shiva 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 Shambho. Hara 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Hara 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Hara 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 Shambho. Shiva 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 Shambho. Hara 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 Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. Mahadeva Shambho. बोलिए शिव 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 हर हर. एक बार बोलिए शिव 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 शंभो. हर 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 शंभो. According to a beautiful scripture, it is said that taken from a beautiful kingdom by the name of Kaushal in Bharat Desh in India, a great one. He was called Devadat. It is said he was known to be one of the Brahmanas of the village. Whenever devotees needed help or some form of spiritual inclination, they will go by the Brahman of the village, the gurus of the village, and they will seek help. This guru, it is said he was one who had loved the people of his village. You know, there are some people who love people and there are some people just leave me alone. He was what we call the people's person. He had loved everybody in the village. If you go for help, he will help you. If he didn't have, he will try to help you. If he knew any source and any mean of helping people, he would help. There are some people who don't like to help nobody. He was one who will always give his all for the world because he always believed in service to the world. How we say it? Service to man. Yeah. It's service to God. Sometimes the way I see people treat people, sometimes I wonder if they ever even see God in that person. It is said you're supposed to see God in every personality. You're supposed to find God's energy, God's image in the people around you. Take a look and see. Look behind you and see if you see God in the person. Look next to you and see if you see God. Look in front of you and see if you see God. How many people see Bhagwan next to you? What would the rest of you? Is he a zombie? We are supposed to find the personality of God everywhere. Always be the person to see God in things, in everything, in a shadow, in an energy, in a cloud, in a light, in some image. Be a person to find God. Be the person to awaken that spark within you to always see that energy of God. Today before I came, I was looking at part of a documentary. And the documentary was saying, sometimes we find where there are people who, sometimes somebody come up to you and they say, I could see a little bit in your future, a little bit. Or probably I have what we call the sixth sense. I just look at you and I could tell you something about you. How you call them type of people? How you call them? The Siaman. We say there are some people could look at you and read you out and see your life and tell you about your life, and we call them the little Siaman and so on. Anup, you know about that? We say they have the sixth sense because they could identify. But in the documentary today, it was saying that every single one of us have the ability to open up the sixth sense. Every one of us have the ability to tap into that part of our mind and our consciousness and wake up that part of us that has energy. And this documentary was done in America. But you know what was the most amazing thing that I saw? It is said every one of us has light within us that shines. Not you, Naresh. Every one of us have a light that shines within us. According to Vedantic philosophy, according to Adi Shankaracharya, in a scripture that is called Bhaja Govindam, it is said the soul sparks up this body and creates a light. Don't worry about that. The soul sparks up a light within all of us that shines to make us who we are. Whenever the light is shining, you find that person's personality up and out and vigilant and versatile, like me. Whenever you find that person or this light is dim within an individual, you find them always, what are they now, You ask them how they're going, are they? When the light shines, your personality shines. When your light and energy is dim, in turn, it is that the personality, it is shown dim in the world as well. But when you can tap into the universe and the energy of Prabhu, when you can sit and meditate, when you can sit and gaze at Prabhu's murtis, when you can forget the world and pray by chanting and clapping, the power of the clapping wakes up the light within you. The light starts to shine, it starts to emanate. And it is said the Surya within each and everyone starts to glow. Have you ever seen people walking somewhere and they're glowing? You say, hey boy, that fellow glowing boy. Something we could get from him. His energy is showing so bright. And then you look at some people and you say, you know what? Don't go next to that person. He drawing me down. I feel drained standing next to him. The light within each and every one of us. We have the ability to awaken that spark. Devadatta was a Brahmana. Whenever he would walk in the village, he will wake up the spark and the light of every individual he came in contact with. He was such a personality. He decided one day, along with his Dulahin, we want to bring a nice child in the world, but we are not blessed to have children. Maybe it's our karma. So in order to bring this child, we're about to perform what we call the Putra Kameshti Yajna. In Ramayana, it is said when Prabhu Rama wanted to bring children in the world, and it is said none of his Devis could bring children. He called all the gurus of the village. They sat down in a circle and they did a yajna. What kind of yajna? Putra Kameshti Yajna. Putra means children. So he did a yajna to bring children in the palace. Devadatta, he was about to perform this yajna, and he called some of the great gurus of the village to come and sit down and do the yajna. And when they came, they sat down and they were doing their mantras. Imagine 10 pandits probably sitting by this huge Havan Kund and they're doing their Havan Puja. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bolo Bhargo Diyo Yona Swaha. They're making the offerings and they will continue. Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat. Kya baat? Swaha. And they are making the offerings into the fire. But while everybody is in sync, one guru is not in sync. So when you tell everybody, say Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, and somebody Diyo Yona, and they out of time in. and his words are becoming mixed up. Have you ever seen some people trying to get into the sync? You see them, you're supposed to say Shiva, 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 Shambhu, and somehow they're clapping going all how haywire. He was not in sync with the chanting, and there it was breaking the concentration of all the pandits and all the gurus chanting their mantra. As a matter of fact, some of the words that he was saying, they were not even correct. I think I mentioned this in Ganesh Utsav last year, and I will just reiterate. When you're chanting your mantras, know what you're singing, know what you're saying. Especially when we are teaching the younger ones to grow up and to become the pandits in society, allow them to learn properly the Sanskrit and the Hindi and so on, to learn how to chant properly. That is very important. Because in your mantras, you could either be telling Prabhu, God bless me, or you could say, Prabhu, God give me all the trouble in the world. You need to know what you're chanting and what you're saying. Otherwise, you end up in trouble. Some of us, we would have grown listening to our grandparents teaching us a mantra, and we say, but that's how I know it. So I will sing it like this because I know that correct. My grandmother come from India and she teach me that. But sometimes even traditionally they would have learned the wrong thing too. I think I remember giving this example once, and I'll just give it in a nutshell. I was accustomed, this is my experience, I was accustomed singing Shri Radhe Govinda Gopala Tera Pyara Naam Hai. My grandmother taught me Koi kahe Vasudeva ki Nandana, koi kahe Nandalala, koi kahe Nandalala. I have it written down up till this day, where my grandmother sat down with me and she said, right now, Shri Radhe Govinda. And when I say, wow, get one tap, so Govinda, listen, come on, Govinda, and we're going down the road. And then now, द्रौपदी ने जब तुम्ही पुकारा सारी यान बहाई, सारी यान बहाई, नाम तेरे फिर भिकड़े से कर, हर देखो मेरा. And my grandmother tell me, देखो मेरा काई. Y'all don't understand that, right? Let me break it down for you now. Draupadi ne jab tumhi pukara. Draupadi is standing in the middle of the ambience and she's holding on her sari because they're about to pull out the sari. Sari yana bahai, sari yana bahai. And she wants help. So she calls somebody, help me. Nama tere fir bikade se kar. Is there anybody who will save me? And then she look up in the skies and she says, look, look, look. Dekho mera kai. Jai Narayan. Khai means food. Imagine she's saying, my sari coming out, somebody help me, look my food. That makes sense? Jai Bhagwan. I thought it was time to eat there. But instead it was what? Dekho mera bhai, look my brother has come to save me. Who is my brother? Shri Radhe Govinda. She didn't say, everybody look my food, Shri Radhe Govinda. No. Look, my brother has come. And all the years I'm singing, Dekho mera kai. And I go in and all the yajna and all the prayers and everybody, Shri Radhe, Dekho mera kai, now bring food. And it was only when I went to India, I was listening them. And even for a second, ignorance in my mind, my grandmother teach me that. That's all I know from a child. So even when the guru says, Dekho mera bhai, I say, but our guru wrong, bhai. The guru don't know what he's saying. My grandmother teach me is kai. And after understanding the meaning of the words, you know what you're singing. Plenty pundits nowadays, we are growing up. We're not pointing fingers with anybody. Let us start with the younger ones who want to become a pundit. We have one here, right? Learn the proper words. Learn your mantras properly. Learn to chant them properly. Remember in Ramayana what happened? Jai Tvam Devi Chamundi Jabutarti Harani. Remember that? Lord Hanumanji saw all the Brahmanas chanting the mantras. Jai Tvam Devi Chamundi Jabutarti Harani. Lord, protect me, give me strength. Devi Mata, give me courage. And Hanuman Baba wanted to destroy all of them. So he went and he made a yawn like this. Oh, and in front of the line that has H, he made a scratch. Oh, and he put a scratch, and from a H he turned it to a K. Jaitwan Devi Chamundi ji Putardi, Karani from Harani. Harani means, Maya, bless me and protect me. Karani, Ma, bring fear in my heart and make me lose everything that I have. By the change of one syllable. Learn to chant properly. Learn your mantras well. Learn how you sing your bhajans. We sit down sometimes and we listen to our bhajan on YouTube and we write it off. And we follow how it's sung like. And when we reach a word and we don't know what it's sung like, we listen it 10 times and we say, well, I don't know. So we write about 10 different abbreviations there. And we say, if I sing it and nobody tell me nothing, well, I'll go sing it like that. Understand the meaning of the songs that you sing. Today, one of the gurus, he's sitting there and his words are wrong. So Devadatta says, you know what? You're singing this thing wrong. Best you stop singing. And while he says stop singing, the guru feels offended now. You tell me stop? I came to sing so that you could now, in the Havan Puja, you could get the blessings of the child that you want. And instead, this is what you do. You decide to stop me from singing or chanting or doing mantras. While Devadatta looked at him, he says, you know what, I'm sorry, but you're chanting the wrong thing. You know, you're making a fool of yourself. You're not saying the right thing. And he says, oh, you're trying to say I'm stupid then. Sometimes you have to be careful how you talk to people, you know. He says, so you're trying to say I'm stupid then. And when the guru heard that, the guru says, well, here's what. I bless you to have your son. You want to have a son? I bless you to have a son, but your son will be stupid just like me. Jai Bhagavan. That is blessing. You don't know if that is blessing or if that is sharp curse. He begged, forgive me please, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Be careful how you talk to people, they might take it the wrong way. So if you're not sure, ask them back. You sure? You sure you're okay? And today, Devadatta, he was shrapped or cursed with a son that will be born and he will be stupid. This child has been born. Devadatta is with his Dulahin. And while he's with his Dulahin, they have been blessed with a wonderful baby boy. And this baby boy is growing up now. And while he's growing up, at the age of a child growing up, he didn't know that you have sanskars to perform. Let me tell you, when a child reaches at the age to start school, there's a sanskar to do. You know that? There's a prayers that you say. It is called the Vidya Sanskar or Vidyaramba Sanskar. Probably this can be incorporated in the schools, Ms. Camille. When the children about to start their new chapter and their new term in school, and they've come for the first time, or from kindergarten, you must allow them to learn Om Namo Divyai Saraswatyai Namaha, a mantra for Saraswati Mata. And you must allow them now to write Ram Nam in Hindi. So we can print it out for you. Write Ram in Hindi and allow them to trace it over with hardi or dye and sindur. And when they trace it, let them say Om Namo Divyai Saraswatyai Namaha. To the children at their homes, before you start school, write Ram. If you can't look for it on the internet. You must find it. Or allow your Pandit to write it for you. And write Ram, write the Om symbol, write Krishna in Sanskrit, and allow them to chant Om Namo Divyai Saraswatyai Namaha. The Vidya Sanskar wakes up the ability to think fast. They grab onto everything. When the children are small and they're growing up and you do the Vidya Sanskar or the Vidyaramba Sanskar, from that point now the mind starts to shoot itself. They start picking up everything they see, they're learning. Everything the mother, father does, they start doing it too because the mind starts to activate itself. And while that is happening, today this child is growing up. And even though they did the Sanskar, he cannot retain it. And Devadatta sits and he says, is this the shrap or the curse of the Guru? That my son cannot learn what he has to learn? Have you ever heard the kahanis? We tell people when you come to the yajna, whatever you hear and you listen to, learn, practice it in your life. You know what happened? We sit tonight and we say everything gone real nice, boy. You know, Panditji, teach me something tonight. And tomorrow you go back to your own same old traits. Did you forget it? Or is it that you're just ignorant to practice it? Today in our scripture, this child cannot learn. And while he cannot learn, going about in society, he's at the age of 5 and 6 and 7 and he's going to school with his fellow mates and he still can't understand anything and he starts to ask himself, why am I so stupid? Why is it everybody could understand but I just can't get it? Is something just wrong with me? Or is the world just like this? And while everybody could understand, he says, is this my fate or my karma? Which one? Listen. He asked himself one day, he says, I wonder what my life is about if I will never be able to understand. One day we will die. What is your life about? Think about that tonight. Let that be the wake-up call tonight. Tonight we are sitting here beautifully decked and dressed. We have left our nice home. We have left our comfortable bed. I know, boy. We've left our nice place, our job. We sit here and we feel nice and we're listening to the ambience and the energy of Yajna and Satsang. And while we're sitting here, if God of death come right now and say, let me go, Bhagwan not going to give you a chance to say, well, come, let me go back home now. Going to pick up a little bag. Bhagwan says, time to go. Let's go now. What will you do? This child starts to think, if I were to leave this world now, will I die stupid too? He starts to wonder, what is my life and what is death? Listen tonight. Think about your life. Take a second and want to yajna tonight. If it means that you close your eyes, if it means you gaze at the murti, if you get lost for a moment, it's fine. Think about your life. We hold on to so many things. We hold on to our job. We hold on to our money. We hold on to our children. The same children one day will grow up and leave us. We hold on to cars and the vehicles and the house and the land and the wealth and the deed for the property and every single thing, and we don't want to give nobody nothing. We hold on to it. If God comes tonight and says, let's go, what will you do? And what will happen with what you have? देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया. The soul will leave one day. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow. What are you going to do with what you have? देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान. सूरज न बदला, चांद न बदला, ना बदले आसमान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान. Like this, follow. आया समय बराबे रंगा, आज आदमी बना लफंगा, कहीं पे झगड़ा कहीं पे दंगा, नाच रहा नर होकर नंगा. चल और कपट के हाथों अपना पीछे रहा ये मान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान. राम के भक्त रहीम के बंदे, रचते आज फरीब के पंडे, कितनी ये मक्कार अंडे, देख लिए इनकी भी धंधे. इन्हीं की काली कर दो तो हुए मूर्ख महान, कितना बदल गया इंसान, कितना बदल गया इंसान. It is said life and death is something that changes very fast. Today you can see your brother next to you and tomorrow he can leave you. Today you can sit next to the people, look at the people around you. Death doesn't have an age anymore. Long ago you will only find somebody will die when they get a little old. Not anymore. Long ago when somebody died they say, yeah, he old, you know, he was old, he died. That is how they brand them. They see that man down the road there? He was old and he died. However, nowadays, the youngest of people, they depart. Nowadays, children, young ones, they die so easily. Sickness, illness, sometimes they just go to sleep and never get up. That is the world today. And that is the world we're living in. What will you do with what you have, and what will you do with your life? You have to make best of it. Start appreciating your life. Today could be your last. Start appreciating the people in your life. Start appreciating your loved ones. Start appreciating the people who support you. Start appreciating the people who love you. Take a moment and sometimes turn to the people in your life, turn to the people who are closest to you, and just tell them how much they mean to you. Start telling the people in your life how much they mean to you, how much you love them. Don't wait to see your brother in a box and say, I never get to tell him how much I mean to me. Don't wait to see your mother in a box and say, Ma, I love you. Do it today. Do it now. Tell your best friend you love them. Tell your loved one you love them. If you have a best friend around you right now, just turn and give them a little elbow and say, hey, you know what? I love you, man. Say, hey, you mean a lot to me. Make sure and live long. Bless them to live long. Give them a little touch in their head and say, I bless you. Live long. Don't mess up the hairstyle and thing. देख तेरे संसार की हालत क्या हो गए भगवान कितना बदल गया इंसान कितना बदल गया इंसान सूरज न बदला चांद न बदला रे आसमान कितना बदल गया इंसान कितना बदल गया इंसान कितना बदल गया इंसान Vrindavan में हरि लाल की. Did somebody tonight tell you how much you mean to them? Did somebody next to you say, hey, you matter to me, you're important? Naresh, tell you that? Don't believe you now, right? Take a moment in your life and appreciate the people around you. You will lose them one by one, and then you will say, you know what? If I only know. You will live in your house and you will hear your neighbor gone. You'll come Monday tonight and you'll see somebody probably sharing food or something. They may say that before them ladies get scared in the back there. You might come Monday and see somebody and say, hey, I talked to him just last night. And you might just wake up and hear the news, hey, you hear the man you talked to last night? Man gone. Such is life. Itna tu karna स्वामी जब प्राण तन से निकले गोविंद नाम लेकर तब प्राण तन से everybody one voice इतना तू करना स्वामी जब प्राण Baha, follow a song like all of that already, dear man. Vrindavan में हरि लाल की. इतना तू करना. Yeah. जब प्राण गोविंद नाम. Here we can. तब प्राण. Life can go like this. With a snap of a finger. Today a child realizes that he isn't worth anything. He sits down to ask himself, what am I worth? What is the use of a cow that can't give milk? What is the use of a tree that can't bear? When the tree can't bear, what do? Mar gaya. But there's a trick. I want to know if you all could teach me that trick. Somebody said to me, when the tree can't bear, you take a nail and you nail it on the tree. That's true? You all ever hear that? Huh? Some trees. What kind? What kind? Coconut? I go home and nail up all them coconut tree now. I've heard one old man said to me, when the trees can't bear, you walk up to the tree and you talk to them. And they listen. I've tried this experiment with a pepper tree. I didn't talk to the tree and all. Somebody said to me that the tree analyzes how much it bears. If it gives too much, so if a pepper tree bears and it bears pepper, and let's say it bears 100 pepper, and you pick 5, the tree automatically sends a signal to itself to say, you know what, I bear 100 and they only needed 5. So next time I won't waste time, I will bear about 5. The trees listen and they feel and they know. And if the tree bear 100 and you pick all the 100, the next time it will bear like 150. Because it realized that I short bear. They use all, so I will bear more next time. So you all try that and see. Harish, when you go home, we go try that and see. In our scripture today, it is telling us that this child wonders to himself, what is my use if I can't do anything for the world? What is our use tonight if we can't help somebody? If you can't help somebody, what is your purpose? Life is about helping. Life is about uplifting people. You remember the song? कभी प्यास को पानी पिलाया नहीं, बाद अमृत पिलाने से क्या फायदा? What is the use? You see a man walking and he's thirsty and he wants to fall down, and you wait and the man fall and he grung, and then when he fall and he grung, you walk up to him with a glass of water and say, I was coming, you know. I was coming to give you the water. But you wait till he fall down and then you say, I was bringing you water for you. Learn to help people. Be a helping person. Today, this child is saying, what is my use in the world if I can't help the world? I can't even think fast enough. Everybody's thinking faster than me. You know what? People started to laugh at him. He's asking his father, Pitaji, why am I like this? And the father says, don't worry, listen. We will do your sanskar. You're about to turn 9 years old, and at the age of 9, we will give you the sanskar that a child is supposed to receive. As a young boy, you're going to get a Janeo sanskar. You all know what is Janeo? It's called Yagyopavit. What is the Janeo? What is the Janeo? Anybody? The sacred thread. Who's supposed to wear Janeo? Every man. While every man's supposed to wear Janeo, think, every man's supposed to wear Janeo. According to caste, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, and that will be checked from the astrological charts, the Brahmana will wear the Janeo with 3 threads. So they will wrap that thread 3 times, and that will be the Janeo. The Kshatriya, the warlike person, he will wear the Janeo with 5 threads. The Vaishya will wear the Janeo with 7 threads. And the Shudra will wear the thread with 9 threads. But every man, every boy must, at the age of 9 or just above, they must perform a Yagyopavit and a Janeo sanskar and wear that thread. But listen to the rule now. Die why half of them may have it. When you have that sacred thread, you're supposed to upkeep that thread. You're supposed to upkeep it. Because the thread will protect you according to Dharma, but you must also respect this thread. All Pandits are supposed to have this thread. All of them. When you have this thread as a Pandit, you're supposed to respect the thread. You're not supposed to eat meat. So Pandit's not supposed to eat meat as long as you have that thread. And if you don't have the thread, then that means you're not Pandit yet, because you're supposed to have a thread for being a Pandit. So you're now getting there. You must not eat meat. You must not drink alcohol. You must live with discipline. The thread has rules and regulations. While having the thread, it must not leave your body at any point. If you have to change the thread because it is old or is worn out, you must say prayer, bless a new one, put on the new one with mantras first, and then you take out the old one. So that means something was always there touching your body for protection. There are rules and regulations. If you have to go and do a funeral, Antyeshi Sanskar, or funeral ceremony, to not contaminate the thread and contaminate you, you switch the thread on the different side of the body. So that in turn, you do what you have to do, in which you are entering a place where there's a dead body and you're doing a funeral rites, and with that the place is contaminated. When you're doing certain worship and puja, you have to now use the thread and you tie it on your thumb. to elevate your energy. The Brahma sits there, and you use it now to create your strength and your protection for Yajna as a Pandit. When you go about your daily life, when you have to use a washroom, there's a way in which you must have the thread. When you go about family life, there's a way you must have the thread. There are rules to having that thread, but it is important that every Pandit is supposed to have a thread. That elevates your spirituality in turn to become who you are supposed to be as a Pandit. But not many people get the thread because they can't keep up the rules. But it is very powerful. Today, this child must get the thread. And he tells his father, would this thread help me to become motivationally high, intellectually? Father says, yes, I believe it will help. So he goes through the process. What is the process to get the thread? It's not easy, you know. You sit down with your guru, you do a puja, and after you do the puja now, the guru will now shave your head. Well, to start with them young boy now, them young boy want to shave head nowadays. They want to look like Shah Rukh Khan. So you have to shave out the head. You have to go and beg now. When you're done, shave out the head, the guru says, he gives you a bag and he dresses you with a little dhoti and one chadar, and he sends you in the village to beg now. But you might say, but I have everything home, what am I going to beg for? He sends you to beg because you must learn now as the Brahmana, as the Pandit to be, you must learn to be humble, cut the ego you have. So go outside there and start learning now how to put your hands out and say, give me this. Can you give me something? So he learns to cut the ego. And when he begged, I remember the day I begged. When I got my Janel, I walked out my road where I was living, and I walked out onto the top of the road. And I walked with my bag. Hey, I get plenty things. I get fruits, I get snacks, I get money, I get plenty money. And when I was finished and I come back now, the guru say, you bag? I say, yeah, look, my bag big so. He said, let me see what you got. I say, watch from far. This is what the bag get. And you know what he said? He said, the first lesson today is the first day you beg. First lesson today is when you beg, you don't beg for yourself. Everything you get, the guru had to get it now. Put it here. I said, but he mad boy. And I had to take everything and say, well, Guru, I beg for that, but this is yours. Even that is a lesson. Because you thought for yourself for a second, you cut the ego, I beg, could I get something please? You know how hard is that for some people to do? Can I get something please? Can I get something to eat? Can I have something to eat please? I gave an example once when I was in India and I was hungry. Uncle Dave liked to hear these stories. I was in India and I was hungry. I was traveling on a trip for 3 days. I had left the Friday afternoon and I was about to reach there on Sunday. When I went to the train station, I needed a little money in my card. My mom took out a little card for me from the bank at home, so you could put how much money you want and you collect it over there, like a VTM card they call it. But that Friday, I'm about to begin my trip, and that Friday money done. So I called my mother and I said, Ma, you know what, I want to get a little money because I'm going on this trip, I'm going on a holy pilgrimage. She said, I will send you something. So she sent it on Friday. So I left for my trip now. When I went on my trip, I couldn't call her anymore after that. I went in the train station and I lie down on the ground and I'm waiting for the train to come. Suddenly now I heard an announcement, the train is 16 hours late. Not 1 and 5, you know. 16 hours late. So I took my backpack and I put it by my head and I lie down in the corner on the ground and I lie down right there. I said, well, okay. I tried to sleep a little bit to pass the time. And every time you hear the train sound comes, as soon as you hear the sound of the train, at that point I'll jump up and just watch onto the boards to see if the train is coming. But 16 hours. And I'm waiting now. While I'm waiting for the train to come, the train wasn't coming. I said, you know what? I'm starting to feel hungry. I get up and I went to one of the little ATMs that they have and I push in the card because I know mommy says she's going to put some money. If my mommy looking at this tonight, she will cry. When I put it inside there and I checked, no money. I started to go a little crazy now. No money. I left my ashram. I ran away from the ashram because I was going on a spiritual journey. And I reached there now at the train station and there's no money. The train is coming. I have my ticket to go, but I'm hungry. 16 hours. What to do? I checked. I checked again. I came out and I started to walk around all over the place. 2 hours passed. Belly started to go grrr. Come back by the machine again. Push in the card again. Nothing. I saw one fellow on a phone and I don't know how to ask him, but I walk up and भैया एक phone call चाहिए कृपया. Please, can I have just one phone call? Hey, जाओ ना. He looked at me like, go from here, who's you? And I said, I want to call my mother. Please, just 1 minute, 1 minute. I want to call my mother. I didn't have any money. I was waiting for the card. And for some reason he said, okay, okay beta, 1 minute, jaldi karo. So I took the phone, dialed. Mother answered the phone. Mom, did you send the money? Yes, it gone. Mom, I'm not getting the money. What do you mean you're not getting the money? I sent the money. She said, hold on. I said, hurry up. One fellow here angry waiting for me. I borrow your phone. So she made a call to the bank. When she called the bank, somebody who was there, they were closing off. They said, Mom, I know you sent the money, but this is Friday afternoon. He will get it by Monday. Bank closed. Hey. My mother came and said, you'll get it by Monday. Where are you? Are you okay? And I thought twice before I answered because I don't want her to worry. I said, yeah, I'm fine. I just wanted to know if the money reached, but it's okay. Hang up the call on her. And I gave him the phone and I came back now and I sat down for a second and said, what do I do now? And when I was sitting there and I was thinking what to do, I said, you know what? Let me go try to sleep and wait for this train to come so I could forget about food. And I was lying down there now and I tried to sleep. And while I'm trying to sleep, one child came up to me and there he pulled my foot like this. His head was ragged and his clothes was dirty. And he's pulling my foot. And when I open my eyes and I watch back on the board, there's still about 8 hours to go for the train to come. And this child is waking me up. And when I look at him, I say, क्या हुआ? He said, भैया, भोजन दे दो ना, मुझे भूख लग रहा हो. I say, you भूख लग रहा हो, me भूख लग रहा हो तू. I hungry too. And he said, beta, भैया, no भोजन. I said, no भोजन, sorry. पता नहीं, I don't know. I don't know where to get it from. And he just left and he went. And when he left and he went, I sat down now because I wake up and belly going, grrr, you're feeling that thing grinding inside it. And at that point, I looked and in a distance, I saw a mother feeding her child a piece of bread. And for a second, it crossed my mind. No money coming. I'm stranding in the train station. Should I ask a piece of bread? But I'm feeling bad. Mother is feeding her one child a piece of bread. Should I ask? Should I not ask? And I sit and I look. And I look. I said, you know what? Let she feed her child first. And she fed her child. And half of the bread remained. And she held it in her hand. And she just placed it next to her on his side on top of a little bench she was sitting on. When she placed it there, she was taking care of her child. And I said, you know what? She finished feeding him. So I could get that piece of bread. So I get up and I walked up to the mother. And I walk up to her. I don't know how to start to ask. I'm scared. I've never done it before. And I said, you know what? What is there to lose? I'm in India, nobody knows me. Let me go and beg. And I went up to the mother and I said, Ma. She looked at me so. She turned the other side. I was scared to ask back. Ma. She looked at me so. She pulled on this side. She took the bread and she put it in front of her. I said, Maya. And I put my hands together like this. Imagine me. Put my hands together like this. Ma, mujhe bhook lag raha ho, ma. Ma, I'm very hungry. Can I get that piece of bread? She looked at me. She looked at my child. She raised her voice and she says, get out of here. Whoever you are, get out of here and leave my child alone. And I look at that child and I look at the piece of bread and I turn around. Nobody knows that day. I walked back and I sat down. And I cried, not because I was hungry, but because of the way she spoke to me. Because I had to beg for a piece of bread. Do you know what it is to beg for something? Do you know what it is to ask somebody for something? Today Uncle Dave said to me one of the most amazing things. I said to Tasha this afternoon. Today I asked this afternoon, I asked Uncle Dave for something, for a favor. I have the voice note. You remember what you said to me? Yeah, what? He said, Panditji, next time give me the instructions. Don't ask for a favor. The gurus are here to promote spirituality. We don't know the way around. We don't know if we need to put down a little building in the back there. We don't know who to get to bring the dirt and the lumber and to bring all the equipment. We don't know. But the devotees are supposed to be there willing to serve and to help and to support. That is what they're there for. The blessing that comes with that is manifold. Today this child went to beg, and while he's begging, people are looking at him. Some are saying, well, okay, let me give you something, and some are saying you're poor and you have no sense. Everybody know that he can't get the click to understand. Get out of here, you're stupid, go. And he stands there and he's asking himself now, what do I do at this point? And it is said that day, after getting Janeo, he ran away from his village and he went into the forest, and he says, I would never show my face again because I'm ashamed of who I am. And when he ran away into the village, he sat down by himself and he says, today I will sit here and I will live by myself because nobody likes me. And while he's sitting, he doesn't even know a mantra. He doesn't even know a prayer. He doesn't even know how to worship God because he doesn't have that intellect. He was cursed. He was trapped to be like that. That's why he thinks that he's stupid in other words. So what does he do? He's sitting there and listen. Jivane marane gate Jugala kishore Jivane marane gate Jugala kishore. This is a beautiful Bengali song that was sung, and it describes this moment. Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamo Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gate Jugala Kishore Jivane Marane Gate Jugala Kishore Radha Krishna Pranamor Jugala Kishore. क्या बात बोलो हरि गोविंद कालिंदिरा कोले केली कदम्बी नवाना कालिंदिरा कोले केली करम्बी रवाना रत्ना विधीरा ऊपर रत्ना विधीरा ऊपर सबो तो जाना जीवाने मराने गते अरना ही मोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगला किशोर हरी राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगला किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोर जुगला किशोर. वृंदावन में हरि लाल की. He went in the forest and he sat there and he decided to hide himself so nobody would find him. He says, you know what? I may be stupid. I may not know much. but I will try to live a good life. I will try to speak truth. I will try to live a truthful life, and at least that might help for something. I already can't understand much. And you know what happened? It is said on one day, a nishad, it is said a chief man, a hunter, he came in the forest during that period. And when the hunter came in the forest, the hunter was shooting deers. One deer was shot, and the deer was bleeding. And the deer was running through the forest while the hunter was looking for him. And while this child was sitting there, he saw the deer running and there was blood. The deer looked in his eyes directly, and the minute he locked eyes on the deer, he could feel pain. He felt sorry for him. An animal is hurt. He saw blood oozing out, and the deer is limping and trying to run. And he's hearing somebody coming in a distance, and the deer looks him in the eye, and he says, you know what? Maybe I may be stupid, but I won't tolerate hurting an animal. So he tried to call the deer, come, come, come. And he hid the deer behind him, and he hid him up nice. And when he hid him behind him, the hunter is coming. And the hunter comes and sees him there. And while the hunter sees him there, the hunter would ask at that point, he says, I'm looking for a deer. Did you see a deer pass by? He stopped for a second. He says, you know what, I may be stupid, but I want to speak truth and live a truthful life. But if I were to speak truth and I let out this deer, the deer could die. And if I speak untruth, it means I will incur sin in my life. He didn't answer. The hunter left for a few moments, and he went to one of the trees to turn around and come back. And while the hunter left, the deer thought he could run away. So the deer decided to make a leap, and he looked back and he says, I. When he said I, he woke up something. It is said when he said I, the deer looked back, and he ran back and he hid behind him. And when the hunter heard I, he turned around to come. He says, let me ask you something. Did you see the deer pass by? And immediately, nobody knows this little power. When he said I, it is said I starts the beginning of the Bij mantra I'm. Y'all know what is I'm? Om I'm Saraswate Namaha. That is a mantra. Om I'm Saraswate Namaha. He started I. And Devi Mata Saraswati, she woke up at that point. She's in the skies, and she woke up because somebody started her Bij mantra. And she says, you know what? She looked down and she saw him, and she realized that this was the child who didn't know much. She says in her mind, you know what? He don't even know what he's saying, but he attempted my mantra. And for attempt, she says, I will teach him the right thing now. And from the skies, Devi Saraswati, she sits on her swan, and she leaves the heavens, and she's about to descend now to see him. She's about to leave the skies to save a child because he tried. Unknowingly he tried to pray, and he didn't even know that. And he said, I. And she came down in her beautiful form, and she went directly through him, and she went within his body. And sparks started to shoot throughout his body because the consciousness of Atma Jnana knowledge was awakened in his mind. The sixth sense was about to be awakened by Saraswati Devi Mata. And while the sixth sense was about to be opened and awakened, he just blurted out, I'm Saraswati Namaha. He didn't know where it came out from, but energy of knowledge and divinity of Saraswati Mata started to grow in his mind. And at that point, he don't know why, he just said, Saraswati Mata ki jai. And the hunter said, what? What do you say? Who? Jai? What? He says, Saraswati Mata ki jai. He's lost. He doesn't know what he said. I'm Saraswati Namaha. And all of a sudden, now knowledge just started to grow. The hunter says, hey, I didn't ask you that. Where is the deer? Did you see a deer? He became so smart in seconds. Saraswati Mata sat on his tongue and guided him what to say. He just blurted out, Are, Nishad, The eyes that saw cannot speak, and the mouth that could speak can't see. Leave from here. The Nishant didn't even understand what he said. He said, you like you mad, yes, pagal ho gaya. He left and he went. He saved himself from speaking untruth, and he saved the deer. He didn't know how he do it, but knowledge started to flow in his mind, and he started to speak now in rhymes. He started to speak like a poet. He didn't even know I, and Saraswati Mata, I'm, she woke up a spark. In Nauraatri, 3 days are dedicated to Durga Devi, 3 days are dedicated to Lakshmi Mata, and from tomorrow, 3 days of Saraswati Mata will be worshipped. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. All the children write it down, learn it. It will wake up your intellect. It will wake up your mind. You know, in some of the schools in India, over the doorway, they have the mantra Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha or Om Namo Divyai Saraswatyai Namaha. And they teach your children, you're coming in the classroom to learn, make sure when you walk in the doorway, look on top and say that mantra before you walk in. That is how they teach the culture. They teach your children mantras so the child knows it. Little hints, right? So the children will learn their prayer and they will awaken the spark of Lakshmi Mata in their mind. Dhobiya jala bicha marat piyasa. It is said he left and he went to a nearby stream. And there he saw some boatmen, they were on the stream. And some of them, they were dhobi wala. You know what's a dhobi wala? Dhobi means, in India, when you look at the long time India movie, they're washing their clothes on a rock and they're beating their clothes on the stone and so on. Some of the dhobis were sitting there and they see this child. And they remember him and they say, oh, you're the child who don't know anything, eh? And he started to say Sanskrit mantras. And when he started to chant the mantras, they were shocked. The dhobiya, they spoke. Dhobiya jal bicha marat piyasa. Dhobiya jal bicha marat piyasa. Everybody follow. जल में तार पिया नहीं मूरख, जल में तार पिया नहीं मूरख। अच्छा जल है कासा, अच्छा जल है कासा। अपने घर में मन मन जाने, अपने घर में मन मन जाए। करे धोबिया की आशा, जल बिच मरत प्यासा। धोबिया जल बिच मरत प्यासा। The Dhobias over there, they realized that the child is gaining knowledge and they sat down, they called the child, Baitona, where did you learn from? And out of Saraswati Mata he starts to speak poetic words. Just like Tulsidas, just like Valmiki, just like Ved Vyasri, the authors of our scriptures. He started to narrate these beautiful words, and that day they gave him a name. We pronounce it today to be known as Satya Vrat. Satya means truth, Vrat means sacrifice. You have sacrificed your life for truth, and the mother heard your prayer. Always be truthful in the world. Always live a truthful life. Always do the right thing. Never try to do something bad. It will catch up with you. Don't think you can run and hide. It will catch up with you one day. Do good deeds. Live a good life. And Devi tonight in Nauraatri will bless you. जिन में धोबिया रोवाई धोवाई, जिनमें धोबिया रोवाए धोवाए, जिनमें होवा उदासा, जिनमें होवा उदासा। आप बंदे कर्म के रासरे, आप बंदे कर्म के रासरे, आप नगर के पासा, जल भी समरत प्यासा। धोबिया जल भी चमरत प्यासा। That day he turned around and he went back to the village. And now he had a welcome. He was smart. He was smarter than everybody else now. And everybody wanted to know what is his secret. And he didn't hide it. Om Aim Saraswati Namaha. एक रात को तो लगावे, एक रात को जोड़ी लगावे। एक रात को जोड़ी लगावे, चोरी दियो भरमासा, चोरी दियो भरमासा। कहता कबीर सुनो भय साधो, कहता कबीर सुनो भय साधो। अंतर चेत उपासा, जल बिच मरद प्यासा। धोबिया जल बिच मरद प्यासा। धोबिया जल बिच मरद प्यासा। धोबिया जल बिच मरत प्यासा। He went back to the village and now everybody respected him because Devi Mata was walking with him. Devi Mata protected him. If Devi protects you, nobody can harm you. If Devi stands up with you in all her forms, nobody can destroy you. Tonight, remember, it has been another beautiful night in worship to Devi. Look up to Adi Shakti Devi Mata in all her manifestations. Come along every night so that you can receive your blessing. Take part. Walk with your parsad. Don't wait for the pandit to say bring your parsad. Walk with your parsad. Come, make an offering. Offer it by the Bedi. Offer it by the Murtis. Take your blessing back with you. It is you who will receive the blessing, nobody else. You will only do for you. Anybody else pray, they pray for themselves. But only you can pray for you. Shri Gajananda Swami ki! We end our message tonight with this. And as we end our message, I know tomorrow night we won't be here, but we will be here the night after. Tomorrow night we will be at the Bhuvaneshwar Mandir. The invitation is out, but not everybody leave. Some stay a little bit. But at this time, let us join in two beautiful bhajans, one by Tashaji and one by members of the Mandir. And then we will join in our final arati.
ऐसा प्यार बा Testing. ऐसा प्यार बहारे मैया चरणों से लग जाऊं मैं सब अंधकार मिटारे मैया दर्श तेरा कर पाऊं मैं ऐसा प्यार बहारे मैया ऐसा प्यार बहारे अंधिकार मिटारे मैया दर्श तेरा कर पाऊँ मैं ऐसा प्यार बहा दे मैया मैं बालक तू मैया मेरी निस दिन तेरे गोद है निस दिन तेरे गोद है तेरी कृपा है मैया तेरी भीतर जो भी गोद है भीतर जो भी गोद है शरण लगा मुझको मैया शरण लगा मुझको मैया तुझ पर बलि बन जाऊँ मैं ऐसा प्यार बहारे मैया चरणों से लग जाऊँ मैं सब अंधिकार मिटारे मैया दर्श तेरा कर पाऊँ मैं ऐसा प्यार बहारे मैया ऐसा प्यार बहारे मैया ऐसा प्यार बहारे
Beautifully done there, dear Tasha. Devotees, in our midst, we have a very special guest with us. At this time, I would like to call on the president or the chairperson of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, East Bang Pran, to do the official introduction.
My humble Sitaram, to the VSG and all our special invitees this evening. As we rededicate our lives these 9 nights in the 3 forms of Adi Shaktima, we also recognize important women within our society, women who truly embodies all that Durga Ma represents. And this evening, we are so fortunate to have one such woman within our midst. She is certainly my role model, and she has been a role model for many young women, or women in general, in Guyana, across the Caribbean, and now even globally. It is my honor to introduce the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, also our President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Dr. Vindhya Vasini Prasad. Please, let's all welcome her. As she gives a brief remark this evening, it is such an honor to have her here this evening. There I was looking for her, not knowing this tiny figure sitting in between us, all humble as usual.
Thank you very much, Sister Camille, Panditji, brothers and sisters all, respected elders. Sitaram, Shubh Navratri to all of you. I'm happy to join you this evening as we commemorate and observe the sacred and auspicious period of Navratri. These 9 nights have been, I believe, the opportunity for us to experience transformation, to experience spiritual exaltation, and to experience the opportunity in our lives to delve deep within to find the meaning and purpose of life itself. Navratri does something so wonderfully globally in that it brings people together in this manner, in a very spiritual atmosphere, experiencing divinity and expressing themselves in bhakti. As you commemorate these 9 nights dedicated to the worship of Ad Shakti Ma, whether you worship her in her principal forms of Saraswati, Mahalakshmi, or Durga Ma, or you choose to worship her in her Navadurga Roop, in her manifestations, beginning with Shailaputri and concluding with Siddhidatri, I have no doubt that you are feeling very blessed to be in satsang this evening. I've always seen Navratri, which is observed at least 4 times in the year, but principally twice in the year. I've always believed that this gives us the opportunity to move from the realm of Maya into an age of spiritual enlightenment. We live in a world where illusion exists. We live in a world where sometimes there's so many negative energies within ourselves and around us. And when these periods come around, not once, but at least twice, when we observe them in this magnitude, we are all encouraged to gravitate to light and also to awaken the light that exists within us. Hinduism has the distinction of being the faith that tells us quite clearly that from birth we are blessed with that innate divine energy and light. We do not believe for a second that we are born in sin, but we believe that we have been blessed with the ability, the inherent ability to have within us that deep sense of divinity represented by Bhagwan, whether you choose to refer to Bhagwan as Shakta or Shakti. Simply put, when we are observing Navratri, it gives us the ability to express our divinity in so many ways. And when we look at the various manifestations of Durga Ma, Shailaputri, Prathamam Shailaputricha, Dvityam Brahmacharini, Trityam Chandraghanteti, Kushmandeti Chaturtakam. When we look at all of the forms or manifestations of Durga, it reminds us to always aspire to cultivate these positive attributes within ourselves. So I believe that the time is come for the Hindu community to awaken, for the Hindu community to move into a state of awareness, and for the Hindu community to be informed, to be aware, and to be beyond superficiality and beyond the realm where things are looked at in a very simple way, but to delve deeper into the spiritual significance of our various Brit or festivals. Tonight, I looked at everyone and they were absorbed in one way or another as they listened, as they engaged in worship. And I hope that as we move beyond this period of Navratri, which culminates in Ram Navami, we can take this kind of enthusiasm every single day of the week into what we do, into who we are, into how we represent ourselves in every sphere of life. It is an important thing in the world in which we live to be able to express ourselves and express ourselves powerfully rooted in our dharma, where we understand the purpose and meaning of life itself and our role and responsibility on earth. As I look around, I see many young people, and I always encourage young people to ensure that dharma is promoted, sustained, and done in a manner in which we can always express it at any forum in our own beliefs. We can express it in any forum so that even someone who is not part of our community could understand, could respect, and could definitely participate in knowledge that has been distilled through our various scriptures. When we peruse the page of Sri Ram Charitramanas and we look at the life of Bhagwan Sri Ram, an exemplary life that teaches us daily how we should live as a people, we understand the meaning of love, We understand the meaning of unity. We understand the meaning of respect. And we understand the meaning of conducting ourselves with the highest state of honor, dignity, and integrity. We all know the very famous verse from the Ramayana, Raghu Kularita Sada Chaliyai, Pran Jai Bar Vachan Na Jai, simply telling us that whenever, as a person, we give our word, we should always stand up to honor our word. And as such, in the world in which we live, where some people's words are so fickle, and some people's words have no weight or merit, let us, who understand the extent of the Ramayana, stand firm in when we give our word, we stand to our word. That is the first thing that says a lot about who we are. And in doing so, Bhagwan Sri Ram did not maintain ego and arrogance. Rather, in giving his word, he stayed a very humble individual, able to engage with everyone from every walk of life, able to adapt and adjust to the forest life coming from a princely kingdom, and being able to not only exist among those who he had to live with, but he was able to protect them. So in equal manner, as we move through this transformative period of Navratri, let us strive to be humble individuals, but let us also be inspirational individuals that no matter where we are and where we find ourselves, we are able to bring light into a room, light into the lives of people, and we are able to inspire them so that they can work not for selfish interest or self-interest, but work for the benefit of all humanity. Tonight, as you observe Navratri, as you celebrate Navratri, I hope you find it within yourself to cultivate the divine qualities as represented by the various forms of Adi Shaktima. And as you get to the final day, when she's worshipped as Siddhidatri, when she's worshipped in that form that encourages us to reach the pinnacle of where we want to be, where we are striving to have siddhis. And where do we hear the word siddhis from? What do we chant it in? Come on. Where would you hear? Ashta Siddhi Nava Nidhi Ke Data, Hanuman Chalisa. What was Hanumanji known for? He was known for making the seemingly impossible a reality. Nothing daunted Hanumanji's spirit, even if those around him had negative thoughts about it, even if those around him said it was something that was inconceivable. Once that mission was given by Sri Ram, he understood his mandate and he carried it out. In equal way, as we live on this earth, let nothing limit our ability, because when we start to put a limitation on ourselves, we're saying to Bhagwan, we are putting a limit on you. Why do I say that? Because we believe Aham Brahmasi, within you, within I, within all of us, Bhagwan resides. So when you start to think of yourself as an expression of divinity, nothing at all becomes impossible. And I thought of leaving this message with you because we live in this world where people, somehow or the others, really try to cope, or they fail to cope, and they give up. They give up very easily on life, themselves, the people around them, and they get into a mode of complaining. Not true? Something go wrong, you blame somebody. Something go wrong, you complain about this. But in you, in I, in all of us, there exists divinity. There exists limitlessness. And I have learned a long time ago to take one word out of my vocabulary, cannot. Take it out of your vocabulary. From the time you start to say cannot, you're bound to fail before you even start. And so just within your own being, believe in your ability to be limitless. Believe in your inherent capacity, and believe before you even start to do anything or embark on any endeavor that you will succeed. With that kind of positive attitude, in the Western world they call it affirmations. You all read about affirmations, but we've believed that for centuries in all of our scriptures. When Sri Ram was going to Lanka, who did he pray to? Durga Ma. He did. And he didn't pray because he felt he could not succeed. He prayed and said to her, let me recognize the strength that I have within and utilize the intellect that I've been blessed with to defeat evil in all of its forms. So, whether you worship her as Mahalakshmi, one who blesses us with light and prosperity, whether you worship her as Durga Ma, not to be feared or not to be mired in superstition, but one who destroys superstition, darkness in all of its form, or whether you worship her as Saraswati Mata, who bestows spiritual enlightenment on her seeker or devotee, I have no doubt that she will respond to all of us, to all our petitions, and to all our appeals, and she will always provide us with the ability to surmount our difficulties and challenges. So tonight, as you move to the crescendo of Navratri, as you move closer to Ram Navami, I would like to wish you Ad Shaktimas, Bhagwan Sri Ram's infinite and abundant blessings. May you find the courage within yourself to leap over your obstacles. May you find the light, if it has been flickering a little bit within you, and keep it burning bright. And may you find every answer within yourself. And may you not run anywhere looking for Bhagwan, but look within yourself. That is my wish for you this Navratri. And may you have a blessed, blissful, and absolutely wonderful Vasant Chaitra Navratri 2023. Shubh Navratri to all of you. Shubh Ram Navami. And I'm very happy to be here, as always, with all of you. Thank you so very much for allowing me these few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Vindhya Prasad, for always giving us your words of wisdom, your words of inspiration. Thank you. May we all now join in closing arati. Kindly stand.
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया, तेरा पार न पाया। अरे सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल, पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल। पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल, ले तेरे बेत चराया, ले तेरे बेत चराया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, ब्रह्मा वीर परे तेरे द्वारे, ब्रह्मा वीर परे तेरे द्वारे। ब्रह्मा वीर परे तेरे द्वारे, शंकर जाल लगाया, शंकर जाल लगाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, ऊंचे पर्वत बांधो दिवाला, ऊंचे पर्वत बांधो दिवाला। ऊंचे पर्वत बांधो दिवाला, नीचे शहर बसाया, नीचे शहर बसाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, धानु भगत मय तेरे गुण गाये, धानु भगत मय तेरे गुण गाये। धानु भगत मय तेरे गुण गाये, मन वांछित फल पाया, मन वांछित फल पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, तेरा पार न पाया। सुन मेरी देवी पर्वतवासिनी, जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा देवी हो जगदम्बा देवी जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी जगदम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 जगदम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी जय 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 अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा 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 जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे जय पाप विनाशिनी बहुपालरे जय शुम्भानि शुम्भ कपालधरि प्रणमामि दुदेवी नराति हरि जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम प्रेम से सुमापति महादेव की जय जगदम्बा देवी माता की सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम Asan Ji, let us all take our seats as we have concluded a beautiful night once more in prayer and in devotion. May the blessings of our Lord be with each and every one until we see once more. Jai Mata Di.